stand, you know. Well, I've never been to
Let's hope that it added.
Groundbreaking ceremony. We start the program today with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Star Spangled Banner sung by Barbara Lawler. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
which stands one nation under God,
indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Please feel free to join me at any time. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Barbara. I'd like to take a moment also to read a poem called A Lifetime. And this poem was written by Ella Marie Islip, and Ella Marie was the librarian at the time Cyndi was here at the Westland School. A lifetime. She was singing, dancing, laughing, and poetry so sweet, a little added friendship to all that she should meet. An added bit of wisdom with the friends so closely shared, a helping hand to others because she really cared. How much we all are saddened by the loss of one so dear, yet mustn't we be gladdened too, for we have known her here. Miss Cyndi's up in heaven now, and with the angels singing, praises in a voice still sweeter, while the bells continue ringing. Yes, for each of us who knew her, she has added a dimension of memories that stay with us, a positive extension. Please help us, God, to do our best with love and friendship true, to fill each day with kindness towards others as to you. The memory of Cyndi still lives on at the Westland School, and now even more so with the nature trail in her honor. 5 years have passed since Cyndi left us, but each day since then, and every day from now, we'll always hope each Westland student will show the same care for others that Cyndi always showed. We hope that, like Cyndi, they too will touch the lives of everyone they meet in a positive, kind, and caring way. We have some people here today that would like to say a few words, and we appreciate them taking the time to do this. Dr. Richard Mosier is the superintendent of schools. Dr. Mosier.
Thank you. Mr. Silvestri asked me to join you this morning and back a few weeks ago when you talked about the dedication of this park today. I wasn't quite certain what to expect, but I must say, looking out at over 100 people here today, this is not only very impressive in terms of our thoughts about Cyndi and her family, but it says a lot about our community and about our school and about all of the people that are here today. We have spent the last several weeks in the Chelmsford school system taking a very close look at about our future. And we've spent hours and hours, and we'll spend more in the future looking at our planning over the next number of years. Recently we had a retreat with the school committee, and we started talking about beliefs and what's really important to schools today. We listed 37 beliefs, and they ranged from talking about school climate, management of schools, and lots of educational jargon about what schools should look like. Quite frankly, this morning's activity is one that reminds me what really is important about schools. And I'm reminded of three things. I'm reminded, number one, of friendships. The poem we just listened to talks a great deal about friendships. I've heard a great deal about Cyndi since being here over the last year and a half or so. And friendships are very important to Cyndi, and it's very clear by the people that turned out today. Friendships are important, and I hope in our school system we find ways to nurture friendships and make that a real part of our school experience. Secondly, I can't stand here today without thinking of the importance of family. In my career, looking at our own educational background, often we look at moving on and going forward and getting degrees and finding your own lives. If we don't find in the Chelmsford schools a place to really accentuate the importance of family, I think that's what today's memorial is all about as well. Lastly, I'm hopeful that as we think in the future of the Chelmsford schools, we also remind ourselves on the importance of children. All of our goals, all of our activities, all of our programs need to focus on youngsters, and today is a reminder of that. This memorial is something that will live years and years for the Westland School and for Chelmsford students. I consider today a gift. It's a gift from Cyndi, it's a gift from her family, and I hope it's an important gift that really helps set us straight in the Chelmsford schools for what our future is all about. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mosher. Mr. Robert Noy is the former principal of the Westland School, and Bob was kind enough to come back today and visit us. His busy schedule. Bob knew Cyndi very well, and I'm sure he has some very kind words to say, a kind story too.
Thank you, Steve. It's really a privilege as well as an honor to be back here at Westland School to see so many friends. 7 years ago, last month, I met Cyndi for the first time. She had just enrolled from Notre Dame Academy. And in a short time, I got to know her quite well, her interest, and she had a multiplicity of interests. She, outside school, was involved in jazz and tap dancing instruction. She was taking piano lessons. She sang at her church, in a youth choir at her church. She was also part of a dramatic group, and also in the school she was involved in taking flute lessons and loved to sing. So she was a very enthusiastic young lady with much spirit. Much spirit. She just was one who would not keep her light hidden under a bushel by any means. And I particularly recall the following year, she came in third grade, the following year in grade 4, when her cousin Jamie and her youngest sister Jane came, and how responsible she was. She really impressed me as to how responsible she was. She would wait for them in the lobby every day and was like a mother hen. But she really impressed me, and I recall one instance back in the 4th grade that stands out in my mind because it's left a lasting impression upon me. We used to talk a lot about let's be kind to one another, and Cyndi really epitomized this. There was a new student who arrived, I believe as one of the other classes in the 4th grade. And you know how it is if you come into the school mid-year or after the year has begun, the relationships have been established. And it can be very difficult. And I was on the playground one particular day, and Cyndi went over to this girl and really reached out and extended a helping hand to her. And this sort of epitomized what we were working toward, is developing a spirit of sharing and caring and being kind to one another. And I recall when this incident, when her death occurred some 5 years ago, which is a tragedy, a horrible thing that happened. It was the first time before or after in my career that I lost a child. But I could see, and God works in amazing and wonderful circumstances, in wonderful ways. There was a pulling together in our school. And I'm so proud to see and so happy to see those students who would now be in the 10th grade, who were Cyndi's classmates. They were here and they bound together, and those days were very difficult. Oh, those days, we just didn't know how to respond. There was a pulling together, and there's a spontaneity that developed and a closeness that pulled us together, and how God works in circumstances like this is just wonderful. So out of a horrible thing, good came out of it. Good came out of it, and I can't help but think of the poem that you read, Steve, that Mrs. Isley created. A helping hand, because she really cared, and she did care. Really cared, and so those are the memories, lasting memories. She was a responsible, caring individual who gave so much of herself. I was prepared to give a preacher an opportunity and give him a rostrum, you know. Boy, I can hardly wait. I was looking forward to talking with our children, how they can make a difference, and Cyndi did make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Hendrick Johnson's our next speaker. Hendrick is a selectman for the town of Chelmsford and close personal friend of the Morris family.
Good morning. What a wonderful tribute to a wonderful little girl. Cyndi left us far too soon, but thanks to this beautiful nature trail, her memory will live on forever. I'm a product of the Westlands. As a matter of fact, I lived in that home right there. So when I went to the Westland School, it was like Mr. Silvestri said, it was that little 6-room building. I went through all 6 grades, and I used to play hide and seek right in this area. So I certainly have fond memories of this park. And I only know that Cyndi is looking down on us from heaven, and she's very thankful to the town and to her parents.
Barbara and Arthur Moore is if work closely with us at the Westland School to help make this day very special and also this project become a reality. Arthur and Barbara.
Thank you. On behalf of the Moores family, we would like to thank everyone for coming to this tribute. We have been told that an aerial view of the park is the shape of a footprint. And it is this footprint that we would like to think that Cyndi left on the lives of all the people that will enjoy this park. Thank you.
Pastor David Malone is the pastor of the family, Arthur and Barbara Moores, and their family. He'd like to say a few words also.
It was 5 years ago and 2 months that Cyndi stood up in the church at Elliott and sang, "Let there be peace on earth." Barbara gave me the tape of that to listen to in the car. And I did a dirty trick. I turned it over and listened to the other side also, in which Cyndi was practicing with her teacher, and I heard the teacher saying, "Cyndi, pay attention. Cyndi, Cyndi." Both the beauty and the child were on that tape, that precious tape that you have. Last night I talked to the pastor, good friends of Art and Barbara, and the pastor Cyndi, and it was at her memorial service. Steve Stager remembers Cyndi singing that morning with poise, And he said to me last night, but she always had poise. As much as Barbara taught Cyndi to treat him with respect due the clergy, she always called him Steve. She could never call him Mr. Staker. Just like you, Janie, you never learned to call me Mr. Malone. You always say, "There's David." She had so much poise that when the Moores gave Steve his tragic 30th birthday party, she blew the candles out for him on the cake. And then he said, "I can't say anymore, except say to them, I love them." And he did, and so did these people. For churches and synagogues and mosques across the world, the times we live in have called us to a new attention for the care of the earth. One of our scriptures says the earth is the Lord's, all of it. And this place will be a place of attention to the earth, that we be sustainable and just, that we be in partnership with it. And that will be Cyndi's memory for us. When you had the service, you sang 3 hymns, Steve told me. You sang Amazing Grace, Be Thou My Vision, Our God, Our Help in Ages Past. And every one of them is a hymn of the trust and comfort and hope we have in God. You have also learned that that may have been an early day to sing of that trust and hope, because there is a rage and a heartbroken cry that must precede that. My prayer would be that now we can sing and say those words of hope 5 years later in this lovely grove of trees, with children playing and being curious and asking questions and wondering what all the history and the nature is about. One of the lines in one of those hymns says, "When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less time to sing God's praise than when we've just begun." Our prayer is that this will be a touch of the eternal and a touch of Cyndi to the lives of this community, to its children and its children as they become adults, and as the generations unfold in this part of that earth. Jane, I lost a brother too, and I've never gotten over the sadness of that. And when he died, we also gave, as his family, a piece of land up in the Adirondack Mountains of New York State. And I'm going to go up there sometime this fall and make sure the sign's still there on that part of the forest up there. I hope you will tell Chad about this day. Remind him that he was here, and tell him the stories. They are so important. The stories we can tell, even when we can't explain what happened, or why we felt so bad, or what God meant by it all. I hope that you will tell the stories to Chad as I had to tell the stories to my younger sister and to the people that I love and that I know. Because as I have told the stories of my brother, and you tell the stories of your sister, other people will come to know the love and the heartbreak and the importance of remembering the people who have been in our life. And I hope you and I can be friends and telling the story about the brother and sister we both love and don't have with us anymore. You and I can talk about that in the years to come, about how well we do that, and I hope that you and I can be good friends, because you and I both share a heartbreak around the loss of a brother and a sister. Cyndi sang that song at the Elliott Church, "Let There Be Peace on Earth." It ends with a prayer. May I invite you to bow your head, and if you wish to hold the hand of the one next to you, and let me then read those words she sang as our prayer this day. Let there be peace on earth. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Malone. The next part of our ceremony is the actual groundbreaking ceremony, and we're going to ask our people up here to join us and break some ground. It won't be easy. I think it's been frozen all, or packed down all summer. As you can see, today is just the beginning of our work. We've got a lot more work cut out for us to make this project a reality. We're going to get there, though. We know we're going to be there. And we'd like to invite you back to the actual dedication ceremony in the springtime. We're hoping to plan something for next June at this site, where we invite all the children out here. We present the Cyndi Moore's award to two of our 5th grade students, and we're hoping to make that the actual dedication ceremony. We're hoping to have the project, or 90% of the project, complete by then. And we'll certainly need help over the course of the winter and the springtime, too. Special thanks to many people who made this possible. Certainly Cyndi and Richard Holman, who are the chairpersons for the project. Janet Krause is our PTO president, WSA president, and the committee that worked closely with them, and certainly to Arthur and Barbara Moore is working closely with us. Thank you for coming here today.
Oh,